Hey, Masters, welcome to another episode of I still want to say Path to Mastery, the Persistent Entrepreneur podcast. And our entrepreneurs are on the Path to Mastery. Michael Bernoff, good to see you again, man. Thanks for joining us.
I'm excited to be here, man. I'm blessed. I'm excited to be here. We had a great talk prior, and if only they will get part of what we shared prior, we're gonna have a big win today.
Amen. Amen. And so you were on the Path to Mastery podcast a couple years ago now, and we talked about your book, Average Sucks.
Yep.
And average does suck.
Always does and always will.
And so now you have a new book that I'm so grateful you're coming to talk about, and it's called Why You Don't Get What You Want.
That is the same book. It's Why You Don't Get What You Want and What to Do About it. It's the same book, and it's the same book, but I'm here to talk about even more stuff since then.
Oh, it's not a different book?
No, it's same book.
Oh, that's funny.
That's the subtitle. Why You Don't Get What People read it. Why You Don't Get What You Want and What to Do About it. So I've got a lot of things we do, but one book.
See, I gave you credit. I thought you wrote a second book too.
I have a bunch of stuff we're working on, different things, but not a second book at this moment.
I should go grab. As a matter of fact, it's right over there on my bookshelf.
Go grab it. I got mine. You get yours.
Yeah, it's such a good book. It just reminded me to dig deep again into the book. But I appreciate you being here, man. You know what? I'll tell people a little bit about you. It's been a while since you've been on. So you're the founder of the Human Communications Institute. You're a leader in personal and professional development. You've impacted hundreds of thousands of people across the world with your programs, your books, audios, videos, and seminars. Michael has an unmatched natural-born talent to understand psychology of individuals, which he will pass on to you, our listeners. This innate, high-tuned awareness allows him to quickly perceive what makes people make the decisions they make. When I read that before, it's kind of a little tongue twister. Make the decisions they make, and what they do, right? Like what they do. Rather than breaking down walls, Michael's skilled at getting people to rapidly lower resistance in themselves and others, allowing room for progress. So let's just start right there, Michael.
I like that. I'm taking notes myself. I'm taking notes on what you said, and so let's do it.
You're taking notes on your own bio.
Well, I like it because if you read that as the bio, we got to cover that.
Yes, thank you. And hopefully I did a good job. Sometimes
Great job.
All right. Let's start with resistance. Help people rapidly lower resistance. What does that mean?
So here's what resistance is. The simplest thing. You know what you should be doing. You're capable of doing it. You don't do that shit. I don't know how to say it nicer than that. You know what you need to do, and for some reason you don't do it. And this is what happens for people is they're totally capable of doing more than what they're currently doing. It's the feeling that people get when you're going for the jump shot, you stop yourself from doing it. I play ice hockey, you want to do a crazy move and you don't do it. It's a feeling you get when you want to go invest and you hold back. It's that on E-Trade, I know I should buy. It is the inner feeling of resistance where we resist the thing that we know we need to be doing. And code word, every person on earth does it. No one is immune. I lost you. I can't hear you at all.
Man, I'm doing such a great job today.
You're doing the best job.
I muted myself. So resistance, you said you know what you need to do, but you're not doing it. Is that also like negative self-talk? Is that what it is, or is it different?
Well, I'm just going to call it resistance for now. We all have resistance.
Okay.
Everyone's got resistance in life. We have resistance for change, resistance to patterns. Negative self-talk adds to the resistance, and it reinforces the resistance. But resistance is built for a very particular reason. What you're about to do that you're not currently doing that you know you should do does change you. And we have resistance to change for a lot of reasons. It's not that we don't want to. It's not that we're lazy. It's not that we're stupid. It's not that we're not capable. It's whenever you're to go for more. Like, let's use an example here real quick. You work with a lot of people in the real estate world, correct?
I do. Yeah.
What is the average? Let's use the word average because I'm going to say average sucks, but the average agent that can make a living on it, which means support a family, do okay, get to go on a 5-day vacation a year, has debt, has a car. How many homes in a normal metropolitan area, meaning like a normal suburban area, not like Manhattan where you sell a home for 80 million bucks and you get one on these lifestyles, the rich and famous, but like just like a Chandler, Arizona. We mentioned earlier, Worcester, Massachusetts, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Not downtown Boston, right? So like, what does the average person move a month? Or a year?
Oh, well, I mean, if you looked at the statistics on the National Association of Realtors, it would tell you that the average agent sells 6 houses a year. So you can't make money selling 6 houses. Like those are not
So
typically
let's just
people that are.
say we did one a month. Let's say we did one a month.
So if you did 12, so what are you gonna make? 50 grand, 60 grand?
Great. You did
Maybe
12. And in your mind,
maybe 80 grand. You can't even live on 80 grand. I
your
can't even pay my
mind
bills.
goes, I can't live on this. I know I should be doing 24. I shouldn't be doing 12. Double the effort, figure it out and do it. So what stops people, what stops most people from doing this, it's common sense. They should work a little harder, do it a little more, blah, blah, blah. But the resistance comes in because the person that actually does the thing they need to do is a same name, same face. They just look at their life differently. So I believe the best way I could put this, David, is the way that we talk to ourselves about ourselves is how we respond to ourselves. So the way I talk to me, real estate's hard. I only do one a month. I only do 2 a month. I only do 3 a month is the way I respond to myself. And I build a whole life around it. Here's the crazy part. The way you talk to you about you is how you respond to you. And the way that you talk about you to others is how they will respond and treat you by either not buying from you, telling you you're enough without having to do that, give you false information, whatever it is. So it's the way that we talk to ourselves about ourselves that makes us do the things that we do. And the way that I talk to myself about myself is the way I train you to respond to me and to treat me.
Okay. You lost me a little bit on that one. I'm trying to figure it out.
It's so simple. It's like this. Name me a movie that I have heard of that you like that the general public here would know the main character.
Braveheart.
Braveheart, great. Mel Gibson, Braveheart. That character has a script, and they wrote the script in a very, very specific way. When you read the script that way, that character that had a tough childhood, his father got killed, went off to battle, he raised himself, raised by his uncle, right? Then eventually fell in love, got killed, did the thing. That script was written for a guy that was going to do it. There's also another person in there that is guy who dies in first scene. Does that make sense? There's also man who holds spear. There's also guy who gets killed by Braveheart immediately, William Wallace. So what I'm getting at is we've got a script that we use in our lives. Everybody's got one. And it's the way we talk to ourselves. So like, have you ever heard somebody say real estate is hard?
Oh yeah, all the time.
And then a really well-meaning manager, brokerage agent, leader, team leader, sponsor says to them, no, it's not. You just got to work harder. Well, here's the challenge. Somebody that thinks something is hard, they make it hard to do. So I have trained the leadership to say, you know what, actually, it's not. It's harder than you'd like it to be. You're just not that good at it yet. And when you add an ER to the sentence, that is different language. So I am currently working on real estate. It is harder than I'd like it to be, but I'm getting better versus it is hard. The person that says it's hard identifies as someone that real estate is hard for. Relationships are hard. Relationships are not hard. They're harder than we'd like them to be because we're just not equipped to deal with them yet. All that they're easy for. It's not that they're easy. They know things you don't know. So all of it comes down to something called language and communication, period.
So to that point, I mean, before we started recording, you and I were just chatting, and we were chatting about all the things that we're doing, right? Like I ran up to my office, got my laptop open, 1:59 for a 2:00 podcast.
And I got on a minute and a half after.
Right? You jump on, you got this going, you're asking your assistant for the right. Like this is what we do.
Yes.
Like, I mean, is that hard or is that
no?
just
That is how
life?
that is how we've designed it. So the difference is we do it that way because that's how we talk to
Or
ourselves.
harder. I shouldn't say
Well,
hard.
we make it the way we make it by the way we talk to ourselves. Even little things we like. This is one of the big breakthroughs that I'm working on inside myself, because I noticed that in all my clients, or a lot of my clients, is a lot of us think there's bonus points for making it harder than it needs to be. Like in a video game, like play the higher level and you get bonus points. There's no bonus points in life and business for making it harder than it needs to be. It's just we feel that the harder it is, they'll be more valuable. That's one thing. Number two is the more talented you are, the more you can get away with winging it. You and I are winging it. I mean, let's just get honest. We're freaking winging it. I've probably done $100 million in coaching sales. Most people have never done that before in business. I've done over $100 million in sales in 22 years. Okay. Sounds good. I can say that. Bring me to the bank, whatever it is. Here's the deal. Why am I telling you that? And I'm telling you that because, and I'm not talking real estate sales. I'm talking about coaching and the things that I do. Here's why I bring this up. I have learned how to wing it. And one of the most dangerous things in the world is freaking winging it. Meaning I could show up 3 minutes prior and still kick ass. But I'm going to tell you, my daughter is a very highly competitive figure skater. She learned that you can't show up day of competition and wing it. You better have had 6 months of incredible practices and produce your practices when you get there. Because what most people do is they just think, you know what, when I show up at the meeting and I sit with the guy who wants to sell the $10 million home, I'll just be great that day. Not true. You can't wing it. We can't wing greatness.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I wouldn't say I'm winging it on that. I've
You
done
can
so
get away
many.
with showing up a minute prior. We're busy. We built a life that gets us good.
Yeah, I've done 450 episodes, right? I know how to have a conversation. I know what questions typically to ask, and I just do my best to be present. I mean, right? There's no perfect script to do a podcast, right? Mike, I used to have my questions lined up. I'd have a script, and it just all never went well. And then I'm gonna say never went well, but it was more rigid and structured, and it wasn't as good a conversation. But yeah, you were gonna ask me something.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
this is the part. No, you did great. So this is the part. I'm not even talking about the podcast in general. I'm just saying we can wing a lot of things.
Yeah,
we can wing making 300 grand a year. We can wing making 600 grand a year. We can wing making 100 grand a year. We can wing the things. You just can't wing the life you want. So if you said, I want to be as good as Rogan, could you wing that?
no, no way. How do you know I want to be Rogan? Oh,
you are
as good as Rogan.
I didn't know that, but I figured you got it down.
Yeah, that's the guy. Like that's who I look up to. Like,
yes, if you want to do it,
Joe Rogan.
Rogan does it differently. Now, granted, he might still show up 3 minutes prior, but somebody set something up where that's right differently.
That's right.
Interesting. So
he's got a team.
He's got a team of like 3 people.
He's got people feeding him data, and he's got monitors and all kinds of stuff going on, and showing him this, and he's
even if he's
I'll pass on the weed though. I won't be smoking any weed when I'm doing it.
Me neither. Back on track. I know we went off on a little tangent, but
yes, sorry.
I will tell you, most people, they want to wing it, and I'm going to tell you I work on that all the time because I can walk into an event, I can show up on stage, whatever. I'm not saying you got to be ultra prepared, but if you want to level up to a dramatically different level, there's things you'll have to do for the next 3 to 6 months that will get you there, period.
Yeah. Well, and I think the reason that you can wing it and I can wing it in certain things is because we've done it so many times. And in a lot of ways, it's not necessarily winging it, right? Like I can show up to a list, like real estate agents say, oh my God, give me your listing appointment, your listing presentation. I'm like, I can give you the presentation, but when I show up, I don't even give them that. I just have a conversation with people like you and I are having. It's not like I sit down and say, okay, we're going to put the house on the MLS and we're going to, you know what I mean? It doesn't happen like that.
You can wing this level, but we can't wing where we want to go. And that's what I'm getting at. So we can wing, this is what Average Sucks is about. We can wing where we're at, give or take 5 or 10%. If we want to have a massive shift in finances or a massive shift in relationship, you cannot wing the next level. Like I play ice hockey. Like I could wing playing with some really high level people because I'll play 4 or 5 days a week still. But if I really wanted to play with the D1 guys and the pro guys, I can't wing that. I would need a radically different training at regiment. I would need a radically different understanding of what's going on. And there are things that they are doing that you think they're doing that they're not. They are making a move based on the crossover. The forward will see if the guy crossovers right foot versus left, and they will go the other direction. I'm going to just go left because I want to try to go left. They're actually watching the other guy's foot so they can have a half a second difference. That difference is they've now practiced that a million times. So if they want to go from line 2, like I was watching this thing the other day and it said most people never really make it big in the pros because their whole goal is to make the pros. And then there's the guys like Jordan and Ovechkin and Gretzky and all the people we looked up to as kids, the Mike Tysons, that are like, I don't just want to make the pros. I want to be the best in the pros. That is a radically different, you can't wing that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm training for an Ironman race right now. And so my workout this morning, 3 hours, I couldn't wing it. I'm on the bike. I've got to get an hour and 45-minute ride. I've got it. When I'm done with that, I've got to get the run.
Yep.
And I can't, if I quit early, who am I cheating?
Yep.
Myself.
Agreed.
It's not like I can tell my coach looks at my workouts. Well, today I only did an hour and 35 minutes. Well, what happened in an extra 10 minutes? Right? Let me ask you this question.
You'll know when you show up.
Yeah. So, and since you brought up sports, I believe, if I remember correctly, you're a UFC fan.
Yeah, I'm a UFC fan, and I train a lot of those guys over the years. I've trained a lot of them off the record, on the record, and sometimes the last voice they hear before they jump on there. Because there was a gym actually next door at one point. I met a lot of those guys, including Mike Goldberg became a good buddy of mine. He was Rogan's partner actually when the UFC announcing back in the early days, and that's how I met
Mike
a lot
Goldberg.
of those guys. Remember Goldie?
Goldie. Oh, the old, yeah. I was thinking Goldberg, the wrestler, but yeah, you're talking about
Mike Goldberg. Him and Rogan were the
they used to commentators.
Yeah, great commentator. He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a big hockey guy, big UFC guy, local guy. He was a wonderful podcast interview I did.
Yeah. Did you see the fight this past weekend?
I did not. I was.
Did you hear about it?
My daughter. I didn't. Tell me.
So Topuria fought Charles Oliveira. I don't know if you know much about Charles.
No.
He's he's held the belt. He lost it, but he started off. I think personally, he's been in the game a long time, and it took him a while because he gave up on himself a couple times, and so people always kind of labeled him as a quitter. But he somehow broke through that. And he became a champion, and then he defended his title, I think, 6 times maybe. And then he had, I think he had the most submissions. Like he's got a lot. Like he built a really great resume for himself. But he fought. Do you know who Topuria is?
Yes.
Yeah. So he got knocked out. First round, knocked out. Maybe a minute in, and Topuria said he was going to knock him out, and Oliveira's never been knocked out. Never. I don't think he's even been submitted. Yeah, no, he has been. He's been submitted. And I just find it really, really interesting because if you watch the interviews and watch them engaging the whole time leading up to the fight, they were like hugging and best buds, and I just thought it was kind of weird. Almost, I don't know, man. Maybe it's me, but if I'm gonna fight someone, I don't want to be like. You can see, like Charles Oliveira would come up to him, he'd give him a hug. Oh man, you're like almost like worshiping the guy, and then he just got knocked out.
Maybe that's the psychology there.
I think I don't know, man. I don't want to bring you on a tangent with that, but
no, maybe it's psychology. A lot of times you bring somebody on your team and you weaken them. You make them think they're your friend.
Yeah, but why? It's like I feel like from the beginning he maybe just was there to. I don't know what he was there for. I don't know. I can't speak for Charles.
I'd have to watch the fight. I'm being very quiet right now. I was in Land this weekend with what I had going on. I would absolutely be commentating.
Go watch it and watch some of the interviews leading up to it. Let me know what you think
on the next show.
Yeah, we'll do that because I'm not doing it any justice. But it was I felt bad for Charles, and I just felt like Charles was doomed from the beginning. The way he was acting around Topuria. I just felt like mentally he felt like I don't know if he even thought he had a chance anymore, is kind of the way I perceive it.
Well, a lot of times
And
we build these psychologies for ourselves on things, and we don't realize that we put together all of these ways of thinking, and then we buy into them. So it just really depends. And also sometimes we use to our advantage, sometimes we don't. There's a lot of unconscious stuff we do based on how we believe we're supposed to act, and then sometimes it serves us, sometimes it doesn't.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think, to the conversation we've been having, I think sometimes people mentally are just checked out, right? Like, and not even necessarily winging it, but just like they don't believe in themselves. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I
it's
think they believe
forced.
in what they're doing, and this is the part that we got to be. Language is my biggest thing. So when I hear words, I believe in themselves. I think people believe in what they're doing. I don't think they believe in where they're going. And meaning, like, if you ask somebody, the drunk pretty much believes they're a drunk. They may not believe in themselves, but they believe in what they're doing. They're drinking to avoid pain. The guy that
Mm,
makes $100,000 a year believes that they can make that, give or take a certain amount. There's believing in yourself and believing in what you could be. Those are two radically different desires, right? Um, there's a difference between a luxury home and owning a luxury house, because you can have a luxury and a custom home, right? These are all different things. The difference between a remodel and a new build, right? And they both involve construction, but they have completely radically different outcomes. So I think people believe in themselves a lot. I think people don't believe in what they're capable of doing with themselves. I think a depressed person truly believes they're depressed. I think the struggling guy believes they're struggling. I don't think they have any trouble believing that. I think that is a misnomer. And I know it sounds like semantics, but it's not. So then you go to a
mm.
therapist and you go, I get a lot of people. I do a lot of one-on-one for people with major challenges. Also, like just mild stuff. People running really big companies that just want little shifts. Like there's a guy that I work with, a big real estate investor. Do you know Brandon Brittingham? Do you know Brandon?
I
Out of
do not.
Maryland. Great guy. You should look him up. Mailbox Money. Great. You should just know he is. He'd be great for your show. Awesome guy. Look,
Brandon, what's his name?
Brandon
I'll write it down.
Brittingham. Get him on your
Okay.
show. Amazing guy.
Yeah,
EXP.
make a connection for me,
I'll
please.
make it happen. I'll get him on your show. But
Thank you.
this is the part that he brings me on, and we do little teeny shifts. Like he truly believes in Brandon, but he wants to be better at the better self of him, like when he speaks. So we took him from good speaker to epic, where he's getting when he speaks now. People are like, dude, my let didn't make me cry like you did, Brandon. That's how good he's getting. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he's getting that good. So I believe when you go to a therapist and you say to them, I don't believe in myself. Oh no, you should believe in yourself. You do a lot of great things. They do. They believe in what they're currently doing. They're having trouble believing what they're capable of.
So your book's not, so it doesn't sound like your book's about confidence, is it? It's something different.
Yeah, average sucks is about really identifying how you run your life, how your average is shaped who it is that you are, and developing the confidence and the ability to go do the thing you need to do. But confidence is not about guts and courage and just go do it. It's not that. Confidence is the language you use. Confidence starts with, like, you don't develop confidence by working on confidence. You develop confidence by actually owning your language. And a lot of us don't own our language. It's as subtle as that. Like, so when I say I'm 100% confident in who I am not confident in who I can be. Now we're having a real conversation. It's sort of like going to the therapist and going, I'm depressed. Well, you're not. You have a few things that bother you, and then you keep on thinking about them over and over again. You're not depressed. You've to bother you certain days more than others. And there's other times while you're eating, you're not depressed. So it's all language.
So how did so to that's a great example right there. So how does somebody, because I know people that they continue to think about these things that get them depressed over and over and over. And I just want to say, stop thinking about that. Think
But
about
that's
something
not going to
else.
work, because telling stop thinking about it makes them thinking about
Yeah.
it. So
Give
what
it
it
to
is
God, right? Like to me, I'm
they've
like,
got a
just
pattern. They've got a pattern that they use, and that pattern creates the feelings they have that they don't want. So I'll give you an example. Like, so you got somebody. Let's call them John. Let's just say John.
yeah, John.
You sit with John. What does John say usually?
Um, I just can't. I'm just not good at tests. We'll use that as a not good at tests.
And then
So
what most
the
people do
John
is,
goes fails all his tests.
So most people do, oh, John, you could be good. You don't get it, man. There's nothing, John, you'll be okay. And actually, it's the stupidest thing we can ever say. Most of it is the way we respond to people is how they respond back to us. So, like, how old are your kids, David?
8, 12, 33.
Okay. Your 8-year-old falls, gets a bloody lip. What does every parent in the world say?
Oh my God. What?
Are you?
What? Are you okay?
Are you okay? Which is the dumbest
Yeah.
thing in the world because the kid is bleeding.
Yeah.
So if a kid is
Yeah.
bleeding, the first thing you should say is, I bet that hurts, doesn't it? And then the kid, yeah, it does hurt. You know what I do when I'm hurt? I stand up, I walk it off and get ice. Now,
Yeah.
when somebody tells you they're not good at tests, you could say you're probably not, which you are not doing, nor is anybody, because we want to save them. So we're getting sucked into their game. There's a game people play. It's like a triangle going, okay, I want to feel good. So I'm going to create a problem. I'm going to tell a person about the problem. I'm going to make the person save me. And after they save me, I'm still not going to fix the problem, but I'll feel better. And I'm going to make them be the person that tells me nice things about myself. Interesting. So what if when somebody tells you they're not good at test, all they want you to do is make them feel good? But if you want to change them, don't get into their pattern. There's another thing. There's a great book called Eric Bernoff has got a book called Games People Play, and another one is called Scripts People Live. And what's interesting about these books, like a lot of people play I Got You SOB. I Got You SOB is a game that people play called I'm going to make someone hurt me, meaning I'm going to say something and make somebody say something mean to me. I'm going to become the victim. I'm going to become the victim. I'm going to make this person victimize me, and then I'm going to make them become the hero to save me. And you don't know which role you're in. Like, we convert roles with people. Like, you and I are playing the role of host and guest. And later I'll play the role of host and guest. Do you know what I'm saying? And we're playing these roles and we bring people into these. That's what the book is about. So what happens is when someone says, I'm not good at taking tests, you'd say, you know what, you're probably not. Is that something you're looking at getting better at? Now we're changing the conversation, which nobody does. Like, the first day of kindergarten should have been simple. What kind of life do you want to have, kid? What kind of things do you want to do with your life? What kind of stuff do you want to see happen? And they may change their mind, but nobody asks the kid that. They're like, okay, well, time to teach you English. I never said it. I wanted to learn English. So why I'm bringing this up is it's very important. How we respond to the person with the challenge is whether we're going to offer them a new pattern or join their game in losership.
I want to switch gears to the title, which is how to start getting what you want today, which is the title I came up with based on your bio in your book. What do people want?
It depends. A lot of people want different things. Some people want to be happy. Some people want a relationship. Some people want love. Some people want to make money. Everybody's got different things they want. People want to feel good about themselves. They want to feel accomplished. Most people want the feeling like they're making progress in life. That is the biggest thing people want. They want to feel like they're getting somewhere. Because when you're getting somewhere, you feel good. Whether it's getting somewhere in a relationship, I think people just really want to feel like they're getting somewhere. Where it's worth it. Where I feel like my life has purpose and meaning. And not just purpose, it's progress. I'm getting somewhere. I think that's the biggest thing people are after, is the feeling of actually getting somewhere.
Yeah. So, because it seems like a lot of people, I'll give you an example. I do on Tuesdays, I have a group of real estate agents around. There's right now there's 27 of us, and we do a call session on Tuesdays. 2 people showed up today. 2. And so, like, where is everybody? Well, everybody says, oh, I want to nail my goals this year. I want to kill it. I had conversations last week. Oh my God, I got to change. Like, you're not going to change your goal now. It's June. I get it. We're behind. We don't change the goal, right? We change the strategy. So,
but
I
who are
don't know,
these
Mike.
people? Are they actively, like, if you look at the gym in the morning, usually the people that are at 6 a.m. don't really need to be there, correct?
Yeah, I think the majority of these people are pretty good. You know, they're definitely outside of the average, that's for sure. They're performers, some of them really high performers. So, yeah, I don't know. I think, what do people want? I don't know. I think most people don't know what they want.
I think they do. I think they're scared of it. I think they're scared of saying it. I think if they did admit what they wanted, they'd actually have to do something different. I have this whole process that we do at one of my events where people actually talk about what they want and then what they actually do, and what they do and what they want don't line up with each other, and what they do they're good at, and what they want they don't, that is actually what they don't want. So if a guy says, I want to make more money, well, they also want to have more time. In order to make more money, you're going to have to use your time. Now, logically, you'd say, go use the time and eventually make the money. But if your guy is always saying there's never enough time, there's never enough time, there's never enough time, I don't spend time with my family, but he also wants to make more money, he knows making more money is going to take away from those other two things. So he actually is conflicting his wants and his what he actually does or she does are not aligned. So one of the things you have to really understand is how aligned are your wants with what you actually do and what your patterns currently are. See, if somebody showed up today at your meeting and they had to admit they were going to go do more and they were going to actually do the things it took to get more, they'd have to admit they're not doing them. That's not fun. Why would I come to your meeting today and admit I'm not good enough?
Well, today's meeting was a call session where everybody's going to make live calls. And
I know, which means I have to get better.
Hard stuff.
Which means I have to get better, correct?
Well, I don't know if you need. Yeah, I mean, you have to at least do it, and by doing it, you will get better.
I got it, but I also have to admit that I haven't been doing it up till now, which means I haven't been doing it up till now, correct?
In some cases, yes.
We're not talking about all people. We're talking about the masses. The two that showed up today, I don't think we got a problem, or they're brand new and they don't know any better. But the point is, I've been around salespeople, thousands of them a year I work with, and one of the things that I've recognized is that in order to do the thing that you don't currently do, you need to admit you're currently not doing it, at least unconsciously. So when someone shows up like, shit, I'm going to do this thing with David, but if I commit to this thing with David, I got to do it more often. I already know that if I go today, then I'll have to do it more. I'm already getting along real well, not doing it all the time. So why would I start something new that I know I'm not going to do? It's sort of like the word workout, right? Why would you bother starting to work out if every time you go to work out, you wind up quitting anyways and it frustrates you? I'm not saying this is positive. I'm just saying this is what it is, and this is the things we have to deal with, where the entire positive thinking motivational world is bullshitting people with their Instagram reels and their TikToks where they want you just to feel good and get a quick dopamine hit. Your reality changes when you finally realize what you're actually doing and you change what you see in the mirror.
Yeah, because I want to go there. I want to give our listeners some change. But before I go there, I want to ask you, so your book's called Average Sucks.
Yeah, it does. Sucks.
What's the opposite of that?
Well, average sucks is not what you think it is. Average sucks is not about being better than other people. It's your average will never make you happy. So living a half life or a 3/4 life will never make you happy. We do not feel fulfilled as people going below what we're capable of. So it's sort of like, I'll give you the answer in a second. You're at the grocery store, you run into somebody and they're like, how you doing, man? You're like, oh, I'm great. Or I'm not. Very few people work on making their automatic, which is 90% of their life, a little bit better. So we always want to have a better great day or get less worse days, but we spend like 95% of our time in the middle, and most people don't want to make the middle better. So the opposite of average sucks. Average sucks is not stopping short of what you're capable of, is really living a full life, like doing what you're supposed to be doing with your life and really maximizing it. Like if you're 5'11", live all 5'11". If you're 6'2", be all 6'2". Stop being 5'4", but you're really 6'1". It's really living what you're capable of more often than not. Now, what I'm going to say more often than not is we don't need to do the thing every day. We just need to do it more often than not.
It's all in here too, right?
Yes.
So I mean,
everything's in there.
Yeah, like I my schedule, like I was up today 5 a.m. working out 3 hours to the office, meeting with this person, let's throw this house on the market, podcast with you, lunch with this person before that, get done here. I got an ambassador meeting, and then I got to coach my daughter's softball team.
Great.
And I'm thinking about all that, and I'm like, man, every part of it, although it's chaotic, I'm actually enjoying it, right?
Great.
Like, I'm looking forward to coaching my daughter's softball. Like, I'm not thinking like, oh man, I got to go do that. Like, I get to go spend time with my daughter. You know, I get to, yeah, I don't know any other way to be though, beside with the stuff though. like the this to this to
So,
this.
so the difference is if you don't have anything you want, which I don't believe anybody has, I believe all of us are here to do a lot of big things, then all of this is irrelevant. If you want more than you have to realize there's a difference between the life you live and the life you want. So you're doing the thing you want to, really enjoying it. But the second you're like, I want to be double as good a dad, I want to be the world's greatest softball coach, I want to be a better softball coach, I want to have a better ambassador meeting, whatever it is, then we need to address these things, right? So if we're just going with it, fine. But there's a moment we get to where we say to ourselves, I want to do more. And that's when coaching and this type of thinking comes in.
So it's great. So when you say, what does that mean? We want to do more. Like what? Explain.
Well,
Define more.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I think if we don't progress, it doesn't feel very good. If you make $310,000 this year, next year, the year after, and inflation catches us, that's no good. If you go on one vacation a year every year and it's a great vacation, you do it for 10 years, you want to do more. So it's like at some point, we're content, we're happy, I guess, at some level. But I don't think we're designed to be that way. I think we're designed to go for the things that we want. And it just depends. And we could pretend, but then why are we doing all of this? Like if we're just okay making a certain amount of money, why would we be an entrepreneur? We can go get a good job. Like if an entrepreneur is designed to create wealth and unlimited opportunities and different things. So that's my question. It really just depends who you're talking to and what they're looking for. I mean, I'm telling you, the most people I meet with, there's the life they have and the life they want, and they're not the same. Not globally, meaning regularly, maybe momentarily, but over a course of years, there's stuff I want to be doing that I'm not doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I want to push, GT3 RS. I don't have one.
That's
right
not
now,
even expensive.
So.
Not even expensive. A few $1,000 a month. It's not too complicated.
So you're actually right. You're right. You're right. Actually, if you think about it, you're right. Just go.
So it's a ridiculous thing to want and not get. So if you want it,
just go get it.
Addicted to wanting
I keep telling my wife I want to get it, but she's
the only reason we don't have it is because you're not designed to have it yet. You're designed to want it. And in order to have it, well, it's the truth. If you exchange Porsche with buying the building across the street, does that make sense? And owning the whole thing, whatever it is, exchange it for an airplane, whatever it is. We're not designed to have the thing we want. But as soon as you break it down, you're like, listen, the Porsche I want is less than $2,000 a month. That's actually not even that complicated. It's probably $10,000, $15,000 down. They're not selling off the shelves right now. I'd probably get a decent deal on one that's a year old, get it for $1,800 a month. This is not impossible. A Ferrari is not impossible. Ferrari, $4,000 a month. If it's important, it's completely doable. It would just mean, okay, it's not that I even need to do more. I need to do something different.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, I could certainly go buy it right now. I don't even today if I wanted to. I just haven't done it. But that's a good point. All right, I love it, brother. Let's talk to our people now. Let's give them some strategy.
Let's go.
Okay, give me like what are the give us three Michael Bernoff strategies. We're gonna change your life and we're gonna help you get what you want.
Okay, so instead of doing it random like everyone else does, let's take an actual person that you know or somebody you've come across that's got a challenge or has something they want. Let's draw a scenario. And the reation why is it's always nice to go, here's 3 things to do, and then leave the podcast going, I did the 3 things and they didn't work. Let's get a scenario.
All right. Okay, so we'll use real estate agent Beth. Real estate agent Beth.
Beth is mother of 4. She lives in New Haven. Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah. So had coaching 3 months, started off big goals, hasn't been doing what she says she's gonna do, shows up, gets frustrated, and then says, well, you know what, I just don't really like this coaching. I don't need we don't need the money. We have plenty of money. I don't like the pressure of having to show up and do these things. And so I don't think this is working. And the goal went from, this is the most important thing I need to do this year to, 4 months later, like, it's not important to me anymore.
Okay.
Why? Because we're behind.
Okay. So there's 2 parts in this. There's 2 people involved with this. So there's the coach and then there's the person that's being coached, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So how the coach responds. So I need to figure out is what game is this person baiting me into? Remember that I talked about a little bit ago? So we've got to realize right off the bat, okay, what the person's saying and what they mean are completely different things. So here's a little piece of advice. You've all heard the statement, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, spend double your time what?
Listening.
Half the time talking. Crock is shit. I don't listen to anything anybody says. And the reason I don't listen to people is very clear. Here's why I don't listen to people. I don't listen to people because most of what people say is patterned, old school, years ago, has nothing to do with today or anything going on. What I'm more entrenched in is not this. Pay attention. People always ask me, Michael, what do you say? And I always say, what kind of response do you want from the person? So if I want to get this person back in the game, I have to figure out what response I want. So I would say when they'd come to me, I would say, I totally could see why you might say that. I would acknowledge them. I totally see, Beth, why you might say that. And acknowledge that, because it absolutely will be a waste of time if it's something you're not interested in, something you don't need. So is this where the story ends? That's it. There was a lady named Beth. She did real estate for 4 months, had big goals, and just decided she didn't want them anymore. Is that how the story ends? And then she's going to say, no. That's not what I mean. Got it. So how about we have a real conversation? Maybe we analyze. We got excited. Maybe we look at the goals, figure out how we can work together. Because are you telling me that you never want to be around me ever again and never want to be near a house or sell a home? That's called taking it to the extreme. What's going to happen is, no, I don't mean that. My time is busy and I'm kind of nervous and I make it work. Then they're going to start having the real conversation. So whenever you're working with somebody and they tell you something, a lot of times we want to make it mutually worse. Why I'd say that is, so you're telling me you never want to talk to me again and you never have an interest ever selling a house or even being near a home. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying then they will say the truth. This is harder than I thought it would be. Got it. So here's my question. Would you like it to be easier? I would like it to be easier. Well, there's a few things I could share with you that would, but I don't want to share them with you right now, and here's why. Let me tell you a little story real quick, David, and this will be very important. I'm going to give all of you a really good lesson right now that'll help you. Dopamine and excitement is how most people get people framed. They get them excited about something, they get them excited about a house, and then they just don't buy it or they wait forever. Excitement is one of the worst ways to sell anybody anything. It's awful. It wears off in 45 minutes. So I had a guy named Joe that I work with. Joe's got 900 LOs underneath him. I was on his podcast at one point. And Joe in the middle of the podcast goes, I like this motivation thing, Michael, but how do I use it with my kid? And I said, Joe, what do you want your kid to do? He goes, I want my kid to be excited about basketball. I said, does your son even know he could be good? He goes, I don't know. Well, maybe we should find out. So here's what I want you to do. Tomorrow at breakfast, when he's calm and comfortable, I want you to look him in the eyes and say, hey, listen, is Joe Jr. Joe, if you ever want to get better at basketball, I might have a couple ideas that can help you. And then just not now, just you come to me when you're ready. Well, Joe called me the next day. And Joe goes, Michael, I don't know whether to hate you or love you right now. I go, what happened? He goes, I did exactly what you said. And my son came to me the next day. And now I got to get him a freaking coach. Here's why it works. If you want someone to get better, they need to come on their terms, not yours. We disempower people as leaders because anytime I know more than you do, I make you uncomfortable. I make you insecure. I don't care. I make you feel bad. As a realtor, we make people insecure that we know more than they do. Our job as a real estate agent is to empower people. So I would go, listen, Billy Sue, you know more of what the house feels like than I do. I am just along for the ride for legal reasons and stuff. You are the genius. You're the one that knows, and you will know when it's right. I'm just here for advice. The reason is we give the power, then they can make the damn decision. So our job is to empower the other person to make it okay. And I would tell you 90% of the people out of our own insecurity want to go, I've been in the market for 27 years and I'm the best agent in town. I know more about Worcester than anybody else on earth. And I am the greatest in the world. Listen, to think I might know more of what you want for your family would be ridiculous. You know more than me. You're the smart one here. I'm just the one that knows how to run the MLS. That's it. I can plug it in. You're the genius. We led with this. We will give people what they've wanted their whole life, to feel important and to feel great. And I can tell you 99% of the agents in the world would never do that. So with Beth, I would say, Beth, you know more than I do about your feelings and the things you want. And obviously this is frustrating and scary right now, which is not what people would say. So our job is to empower people, So they come from serotonin, which means the chemical that they made a good decision. And then they build an oxytocin bond, and boom, we're off to the races. So hopefully that makes sense. It took us almost the podcast to get there, but that's the goal.
Yeah, no, that made a ton of sense. And yeah, Beth actually changed her strategy, and she's
What did it switch to?
found a couple wins. Well, what it switched to for this person was, instead of focusing on finding, four or $500,000 scraps, and they live in a $1 million house, why not go connect with all the $1 million sellers in your neighborhood and around your neighborhood?
Bingo.
And why weren't we doing that before? It doesn't matter why we weren't doing it before. It's really a matter of, okay, what are we going to do now moving forward? So,
and I'd say, Beth, you know more than I do. I'm just the guy for you to bounce things off of.
yeah, 100%.
We make them feel empowered. They enjoy the conversation. If every time they show up, they feel like they're going to get a beating, that doesn't go well.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And it's funny you talked about the basketball coach. I hired my daughter a batting coach. Well, she had a batting coach, and then we stopped going to him because I did a few lessons with her, and I said I can show her that myself.
How did it work?
But it works. She listens to him better than she listens to me.
Always.
So
Always.
we took her back, and it worked good.
Always.
So I know we had planned 30 to 40 minutes. We're at 46 minutes right now. So I appreciate you. I know you have a hard stop at 3, you mentioned beforehand.
Yep.
So tell us your final thoughts. Well, first, how do people get in touch with you? What do you got going on? Books, anything you got going on?
Yeah, I would definitely
give us your final takeways for everybody.
I'll give you my final takeaways on this. I would definitely go ahead. A couple things I was going to tell you. If you're interested, definitely get my book, Average Sucks, Amazon, everywhere. Read the book. That's one way. Number 2 is I set this thing up. This is like an actual phone number. Send a text, the word influence, to 480-800-8051. Just send the word influence there, and my team will send you a couple of videos and stuff. If you want to talk to me about anything, let me know. I just figure for serious people, just reach out. Text the word influence. That'll be code word. I know David. Do you know what I'm saying? So 480-800-8051, and we'll set up a time to chat. And either me or my team will work with you if you're serious. If not, go get my book and check out michaelbernoff.com, and we'll start there.
I love it. Final thoughts, Michael. Take it away. Last word.
I mean, I'm going to say it again. Like I said it earlier, I want you to live with this, everybody. The way you talk to yourself about yourself is how you respond to you. Start changing your words. Start changing the way you talk. Forget the whole positive thinking. Just be honest with yourself about the way you talk, and really be honest. Like, is it hard, or are you not good at it yet? And if you want to be good at it, you can't pretend you're good at something you're not good at. Like, if you're not getting the results you want in sales is something I have to get better at. I'm in the process of getting better. So I would just really speak in solution-based communication, talk in a way that actually is something to solve, and you'll be amazed how much better you can get.
Amazing, brother. How'd we do today?
We did great. I think we kicked ass. We made it happen, David. We'll do this again. And when you're out in Phoenix, I'll get you on the show.
I look forward to it, man. I'm going to get, I said my goal is to get back into Genius. So I just got to figure out when and make it happen. I'll reach out to you this time around too.
Yep.
All right.
Definitely do. All right, brother. Go be great.
Appreciate you. Thank you.